In this video, we're looking at the excellent Styrka S7 rifle scope and discuss why you should consider this as your next hunting or target shooting rifle scope. What's up everyone, welcome Squad and welcome to Slav Guns. I'm glad to have you here. Over the last 6 months, I've had the pleasure of working with Styrka on a number of projects, including the Styrka S3 rifle scope giveaway a few months back. Josh joined us on a nearly 2-hour-long live stream and answered your questions about optics, and then one of you got an awesome Father's Day present. During this time, I've also had the Styrka S7 and S5 rifle scopes and have come to appreciate them. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at and exploring the Styrka S7 2.5 to 15 rifle scope with the BDC reticle and discuss why it's a great hunting scope and a good scope for those getting into target shooting. The Styrka S7 is the high-end optic offered by Styrka and the shooting sports brand under the Celestron umbrella. We previously did 2 videos discussing Styrka and the scope lineup, which you can find linked above. This is the S7, a 2.5 to 15 model, featuring 6x magnification erector and a 50mm front objective. The magnification range is quite generous, and at 2.5 it's quite wide and good enough to be able to focus on targets as close as 10 yards away. The 15 magnification on the opposite end will be good enough to shoot plates at out to 500 or 600 yards and larger game even further away. This scope features a 50mm front objective and a 30mm tube, which will allow plenty of light in, together with the Styrka SXL Max coating, will allow you to use the scope and get a great picture even in early morning or late evening hours. The S7 is considered a hunting scope primarily due to 2 features. First, the adjustment turrets are not exposed and they're covered by these caps. They are meant to be adjusted and zeroed when first mounted the scope to the rifle, and at that point you would either use the reticle or the crosshairs with your known point-blank range, or a range of distances between which a center hit would remain in the kill zone on the animal. The second reason why it would be considered a hunting scope is the reticle. All of the current Styrka rifle scopes are second focal plane, meaning the reticle size remains constant throughout the magnification range. So why are these hunting features and not target shooting or tactical features? Traditionally, precision rifle shooters are going to zero their scope at the preferred distance, be it 100, 200, or whatever yards. Once zeroed, you would use your environmental factors, plug them into a ballistics calculator, and then dial in your shooting solution. Making adjustments on the scope are far easier on turrets made for that specific purpose. Secondly, the popular trend in tactical and precision shooting is to use the front focal plane reticle, or one where the reticle size adjusts with the magnification you're using. The reason for this is that you can use your reticle along with a known size of the target to estimate the range and make adjustments to your shooting solutions. For hunting, you typically do not need to do any of that. The cool thing is the rifle scope is available with this BDC or bullet drop compensated reticle that you would use in conjunction with the Styrka app. This makes the S7 a great scope for someone looking at getting into precision shooting, but does not want to be overwhelmed by all the adjustments and calculations that are needed with tactical or precision shooting scopes. Further making this an awesome scope for the field is the generous 3.94 inches of eye relief, which will prevent scope bite, and having the ruggedness of being IPX67 rated, meaning waterproof and shockproof for any tough environment you would see yourself shooting in. Well, at least most of us. The S7 has an MSRP of just around $700 and comes with Styrka's lifetime warranty called Styrka Pride. The warranty commitment is quite strong, where in the event of any damage or malfunction, Styrka will repair or replace the scope free of charge. No receipt, no registration, and no questions. The only thing they do not cover is loss, theft, or intentional damage. Okay, let's put a few rounds down range and discuss my first impressions and the image quality. I've had the scope mounted on the gun for a few range trips now, and I must say I'm impressed with what you get for the money. All of the adjustments are smooth, including the magnification, the fast focus eyepiece, and the parallax adjustments. The finish on the scope is quite nice, and it certainly feels premium. Both the vertical and horizontal turrets feel pretty good and are both audible and tactile, although not super loud. Obviously, keep in mind this is meant to be zeroed and then the caps replaced. The most impressive thing here is the image quality. As we know from our previous videos, in the optics world there's standard optical glass and then there's ED or extra low dispersion glass. You typically find ED glass in high-end scopes costing $2,000 or more. In between you have a bunch of marketing terms that mean absolutely nothing. And those terms would be those such as HD or UHD, standing for high definition or ultra high definition. Quite a few companies figured, you look for high definition TVs, so you might as well look for high definition scopes. Styrka does not go into that game, and while this is not ED glass, this is certainly on par to most every other HD or UHD advertised scope which I've played with, the closest being my Leupold Mark V HD. While the scopes are very much different, the image quality is quite close. Okay, the reticle. The S7 is available with 3 different reticles: a standard plex reticle featuring medium crosshairs with a thinner illuminated crossmark, an illuminated mildot reticle, which is essentially the same as the plex but has mildots in the middle section, and this BDC reticle. Do note, while the plex and mildot reticles are illuminated, the BDC reticle is not, and it's also a few bucks cheaper. The BDC reticle has your standard crosshairs along with 5 additional stadia lines. If you're not familiar with BDC reticles, they're a relatively new trend. Each line beneath the center crosshair is designed to be the holdover points for various shooting distances. Typically, other scopes with BDC reticles will give you a rough estimate on a sheet of paper. To get the most precision, however, I highly recommend you download the Styrka app. With the app, you're able to plug in the known variables, such as the caliber and the velocity, and you're able to get a nice diagram of the precise distances each holdover point would be for your rifle and caliber. So, what you would do is, once you mount the scope onto the gun, you would zero it in at your choice of distance. For me here, it's 100 meters or around 110 yards. Ideally, you would also have your bullet velocity as it leaves the gun and the ballistics coefficient on the bullet. The best place to get this information would be the manufacturer's website or the ammo box. You do, however, have a lot of factory ammo choices preloaded in the Styrka app. With this data, the Styrka app will give you the distances that are pertinent to you. What I would do is print out the diagram and laminate it and keep it on the gun. And if you're shooting a variety of ammo choices, do this for each of the varieties of ammo. Do note, because this is a second focal plane optic, the holdover points are calculated for the scope being on the highest magnification, in this case 15 power. Bottom line, the Styrka S7 2.5 to 15 scope that I have here is a terrific scope. If you're looking for a good hunting scope, whether you're going to be shooting up close at about 100 yards or less, or going out to 3, 4, 5, or even 600 yards, this is going to be a terrific scope that is not going to hold you back. You have awesome build quality, or in the words of our great president, you have tremendous build quality. It's IPX67 rated, which means it's going to be fog-proof, shock-proof, and it is going to hold up to almost any shooting environment that you're going to go out and shoot in or to hunt in. With the S7, you're also going to have a nice choice of reticles, although I do believe if you're a hunter or you're getting into the precision long-range shooting game and you just want to be able to focus on your fundamentals of manipulating the trigger and your position, I definitely recommend the one reticle with the BDC. Combined with the Styrka app, and if you have a chronograph and you know your barrel's velocity, you're going to be able to use the BDC, the bullet drop compensated stadia lines, in order to make shooting significantly easier. And whether you're using the stadia lines or you're just going to be using point blank range holdovers, this is going to be a great scope. With a price with an MSRP of around $700 and a street price of right around $500, it's tough to go wrong with the Styrka S7. So if you enjoy this video, please click the like button and share it with your friends. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching, keep on squatting, and I'll see you next time.